I'd rather not. Unlike the impression I gave on the cliff, violence is not my first method of choice. However, if I have to resort to disagreeable options, I will. So don't make me, baby. I'd rather we start on a clean slate. And today, Jen and I are talking about God of Malice by Rina Kent. And short summary, rich kids of U.S. origins and British origins go to two different private universities on an island a few hours from London. And they are rivals. And one side is for the UK mafia kid. No, the US mafia kids. And then the elite noble UK kids. I'm assuming they're all from UK. I don't know if there's been any from any other European countries, but we're just going to go with that.
Sure.
And a chick from one university and a guy from another university are enemies, and they end up getting together amongst a bunch of chaos.
So much chaos.
I don't know if that about sums it. There's some tragedy. There's some sort
mystery.
of, yeah, a little bit of Romeo and Juliet vibes because Gwendolyn, I don't know if that's how you say her name. I just call her Glenn. Whatever. I don't like her anyway, so it doesn't matter. She has two older brothers who are twins, Landon and Brandon. And then, so she's the girl. They come from an artist family. They're from the UK, so they go to this specialty school. Killian has a older brother? Yeah, older brother, Garth. And they're on the US side. Well, on the US school side, which is, I don't even remember their names. One's Royal, one's something. It doesn't matter. They have two sub-societies in them, the Heathens and the Serpents. And Killian and his group of friends run the Heathens. And then on the UK side, Gwendolyn's older brother, Landon, runs the elite secret society. And of course, with all secret societies, they have initiations, they have hazing, they have a rivalry. So Landon is obviously her older brother, enemies with the heathens. And so he's like, nah, you can't be with this motherfucker. And this motherfucker is like, oh, yeah, she is going to be with me. It's essentially. And Gwen is kind of stuck in the middle of, well, I'm not really close with my brother Landon because he's a psychopath, but Killian's also a psychopath, so I can kind of see. And so she plays him because she's had to deal with that with her brother. And like I said, lots of things happen and they end up together. Does that about sum it up?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was reading this book, Landon was my favorite. I didn't really care for Killian. But we're here to talk about them. The mystery that Jen is talking about is at the beginning of the book, she meets Killian on a cliff because that's where her supposed friend Devlin killed himself. I called it. I didn't think he was dead at all. It just didn't make sense because there was that fifth person at the initiation that we didn't know who they were. Well, advanced spoiler, in book 5, you find out who that is. Obviously, it's not Devlin because you know that in this book, but you learn out who that person is later.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say it was Devlin.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
But you find out who it is later. So I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
No. I don't know where I was going. I will say it definitely gave Romeo and Juliet vibes.
Yeah, I could see that.
Not like fully, but like you're from two different sides of the, what did we call it?
I have no idea.
I guess two different sides of the pond.
Yeah, true.
Oh my
That's funny.
gosh, that's gonna be my favorite joke. And, I kinda get the hype, what everybody's talking about, like, it's a little unhinged, I feel
Mhm.
like, but unfortunately, Jen had to finish it because I liked it.
Yeah. It would have been a DNF for me.
Mhm. I mean,
Now,
he's
I think so if you've been listening to our podcast for any amount of time, you know that I typically listen to books. I'm an audiobook reader as it goes most of the time. And I do think that didn't help with this book at all because the female narrator annoyed me really, really bad. And normally narrators don't bother me. I can typically get past it, but it was her male impersonation that the difference between her voice and Sebastian York. Hello, love him. He was the only good thing in the audio. And it wasn't often enough to balance out. Like, even when I started reading it so that I could finish it and not have to listen to her, I heard him say baby in her voice, and it was like nails on a chalkboard in my head. So I do feel like that skewed my experience of the book some.
Yeah, because I first tried to listen to it, and I barely listened to, like, a minute of it, and I
Yeah.
was like, "No." I I was like, "I can't, no." Even at the fastest
Yeah.
speed that I listened to, I was like, "Absolutely not." So so Jen actually started the book before me, and then you got to, like, 30 something percent, and in between that time that you got to 30% is when I tried the audio, and then I stopped because I was like, "I can't do that." And then I was like, "Oh, well,
Yeah.
let's see if you finish it, because then I can read it." And then you got to, like, 50, and you're like, "Okay, you need to tap it down."
Yeah, I got to 55% and I couldn't, like, I kept trying. I think I started it 2 or 3 times and I got another percentage and I couldn't do it. But I'll say this too. Even once I switched to reading it, this was just not my kind of story. Our female
Mhm.
character is way too weak. You can come for me. I don't give a fuck.
She is.
She I understand that she figured out how to manipulate kill. Manipulate's a strong word. Essentially just not respond, and he liked it. But it was because she had been trained by her psychopath brother, which is also fine. But the fact that she didn't like it to me, it felt very non-con for a long time. Even though we had her perspective of like being turned on and whatever, like she wasn't ever torn in the moment. She always wanted it to stop until we got to like, I don't know, 50 something percent. And then at that point, she was like, whatever. Now in her head, she's fighting but she's questioning it and I don't know. I did not care for her character at all. She annoyed the absolute fuck out of me. And maybe I would have liked it if I had read it, but I don't know. I think, and we've talked about this before. Like whenever there is a weak female main character, I really, really struggle with any type of bully concept in the book because we listen. If you want my theories and how it bothers me, go listen to Leave Me Behind because I literally dive into why that book works and other bully books don't for me. And this book, in my opinion, hit everything I hate about bully books. And I don't even consider this a true bully romance.
Yeah.
Honestly, like he doesn't really bully her. It's just he continues to force his presence on her.
I think I hear what you're saying, and I think part of that's right. I'm gonna say what I didn't like about it, and then because I think it falls into kind of like what you are saying. What I didn't like about it is she was trying to find excuses not to be with Killian because it reminded her of her brother.
Yeah.
And because she was of the mindset of, well, I can't be with somebody like him.
Right.
Which I don't like that. But then what really made me mad is that she was accepting of Killian, but not her own brother. I'm like, if you're comparing them at the same, that Killian does the same thing that Landon does, why is it okay for you to be with Killian, but you can't have a relationship with your brother? And that irritated me. I don't like her at
I mean,
all.
I don't know how much insight we get to how Landon treated Bran and whatever the fuck her name is, Glenn. But I do think she hints that he wasn't. I wouldn't say he tortured
He
them, but he
didn't.
certainly wasn't someone who was wanting to nurture, or I mean, he wouldn't want to, period, but like
Yeah.
have a relation, like, so I mean, I do feel like it is different. Like there is a big difference between how you can feel about a brother's sociopathic tendency and possibly what kind of trauma that caused in your life versus, no, never mind. I take it back. They literally caused trauma. I hate her. I don't care for her at all. I don't like the book. I didn't like the writing. Fuck the whole thing. Never mind. I don't have any redeeming qualities. I was trying to logic that, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It doesn't. And then when you read Landon's book, it makes it even more clear that I still hate her, okay? She doesn't get better. She really
Yeah.
doesn't.
I don't didn't care for her at all.
I liked the idea of the schools. I loved the schools. I love the
Yeah.
rivalry. I love the secret societies within it. Like, I love everything that is built around them. I just hate them. And I think that's probably why she made them the first couple, because there's nothing to build up to with them.
But here's the thing, like, and we again, this is another thing that we've talked about. If the first book of this type of series is this weak, again, my opinion, y'all can come at me later, but I have no interest in reading the rest of the books. The only reason I will pick up Landon's book is because he ends up with Maya.
Mia.
And I loved her. Like
Yes.
from the moment we met her on the page, I was instantaneously like, yes, ma'am. And the fact that you read the book and said it was good.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of that, I have absolutely no compulsions to read any of these books.
Yeah. So just for clarity for the listeners, as we were reading Killian's book, I was like, I love Landon. He is my favorite. I want to read his book. But I'm sort of like 90% a purist. I was like, I have to read these books in order. I mean, like, whatever. So I read the second book and I was like, fuck this shit. I'm not reading book 3 because I don't care about Jeremy and Cecilia or whoever her name is. Those are the least. I probably like them less than I like Killian, and, well, I like them more than Killian and Gwen, but they're irrelevant. They're hardly even on the pages in any of the other books anyway. So, like, I'm not gonna waste time reading it. So then I jumped to Landon's book, and it was so much better. So, but I think because it has the things that we look for, that we like in these types of books. We have Mia,
Yeah.
who's up against Landon, and Landon's like, oh, this is going to be fun. But we kind of get not that Landon needs redemption. He does not need it, but he's of the mindset of, I just did what any other brother would do. The only difference is I didn't have emotions when I did it. And that to you is torturous, which makes me hate Gwen even more. I
Yeah.
don't hate Brandon, which is because Brandon and Landon are twins, right? So, like, they come together. So I read their book, and then Nico and Brandon's book is better. And then when I read Nico's book, Nico outwon Landon. Don't ask me how. I still cannot believe it. But
That's
I love
Killian's
Nico and Brand's
cousin,
book. He's
right?
he's
I don't know
Killian's
who that.
cousin, but best friends with
Yeah.
Jeremy. So
Whatever that
in
is.
the
I have no
heathen
idea.
side, Jeremy's the one who's going to head the Bratha, the Russian.
Sure.
Nico is his enforcer.
Okay.
And Killian is just going to be a sociopathic surgeon.
Yeah.
That's how that works. But yeah, so Killian and Nico are cousins, and that's how Killian is with them in the Heathens because of that family relation. Mia and her sister Maya are twins and are Nico's little sisters.
Okay.
So Killian ends up with Glenn, which is Landon's younger sister. Landon ends up with Nico's little sister. And then Nico ends up with Bran's brother, which I just love that dynamic.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And then in the stories, I can't remember if you meet Eli in the first one. Eli is Creighton's big brother. He's the one that doesn't talk. That he's the second book. Their book was fine. There was except for his nickname for her, which just absolutely drove me fucking crazy.
Was it
Little Purple?
Creighton?
Yeah.
It was Creighton that was the second book. I liked him.
Their book was
10 words on page.
Their book was really good, and the last 75% was really good. You want me to tell you what happens?
Yeah, sure, because I'm probably this is another Devil's Night series issue.
You just need to read Landon and Nico's book. You can skip the rest.
I know.
But legitimately, you can skip these because they're all interconnected standalones.
Right.
So in Creighton's book, Annika, I don't know if that's how you say her name, whatever, she ends up shooting Creighton. Yeah. So the last 75% is so good. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wait, on purpose?
Yes, on purpose.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she might. Are you sure you want me to tell you?
No, because now I'm curious. God damn it, Misty!
Yeah. So I can't remember if you meet Eli in the first one or the second book, but Eli is Creighton's older brother, but he's also cousins to Brandon and Landon. And so this
cousins to Brandon. Okay. What? Wait, hold on. Okay, no. That tracks. Okay. Yeah, that tracks.
So it's really nice. So Eli's book is the last book, and I really don't care to read his book. I liked the summary of it because the chick that he ends up with, I don't know if you know, I won't tell you, apparently wakes up with amnesia, and he's like, yeah, we've been married for 2 years. What do you like? So I'm curious about that, but I don't like the female character that he ends up with, so I'm probably not going to read it.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I doubt I'll read. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know.
I want you to read Landon's book because of Mia, because she is awesome.
I do. I loved her.
And then I want you to read Nico and Brandon's because I love Nico. And I need you to love Nico.
I liked Nico well enough.
I mean, I didn't hate him or not like him. He was just there. He was a body. He was an enforcer, right?
Yeah.
It didn't do nothing, but seeing him from Bran's perspective and being inside his head for his book, yeah. I love him. Anyways. So it's definitely a lot of interpersonal dynamics, and I love they don't do it in the first book, and they may do it in the second one. I can't remember, but definitely for Landon and Brandon's book, they pull in the parents' perspective of what's happening, and that shit is fucking hilarious. Okay.
I did really enjoy the snippet that you sent, and I did really enjoy their perspective in God of Malice. I think I would probably read their books first before I read the kids.
Yeah.
Because I mean it was just well done on Rina's part because the sprinkling of information that you get from those perspectives is just who's hurt? What happened? What would you do? How'd you guys end up? You know, like, so
Mm-hmm.
it was well done on Rena's part to do it the way that she did, because it makes you want to read the other series. I haven't even looked it up to see what the other series is,
Yeah.
but I could see myself reading that before I read the rest of the Legacy series.
Just read Landon and Brandon's book. That's it.
I might. We'll see.
If you skip Creighton's, I'll tell you what happened. Then you can read Landon's, and then you can read Nico's.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. You might have to pop them in the jar so then I have to read them.
I don't want to make you read something that you don't want, but I think you would enjoy it better than this one. That's for sure. It's interesting, but I think also, like, her being in this world and these characters, like, she just got better at it, which is as she went, the story,
Right.
you know, and that just
Yeah.
sometimes happens, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And maybe people like it more because they've read her other stuff and has saw this build to it, if they read the parents.
True.
And so they're ecstatic about, the second generation, but I just didn't. I called Devlin being alive. I didn't like the push-pull because I didn't like how she was treating Landon because I loved Landon the first time he showed up on the page. So, like, I already had, like, I'm Team Landon, not Team Gwen. Then the whole thing with Devlin and Cherry, and Garth helping, like, I don't know. It was just weird.
Yeah.
And then them falling into Devlin's trap and doing exactly what he wanted, which that just irritated me too. Because in my mind, so Devlin's whole thing is he wanted to start a war between the heathens and the serpents.
Right.
So that he could
Yeah.
come in and take over. Well, instead of just going after Devlin and just fucking killing him and Cherry, which is his sister, by the way, they went after
Whose sister?
Devlin's sister was Cherry.
Oh, it's Cherry. Yeah.
And instead of just killing Devlin, they
Right.
they
went
went
after everybody.
after, and I'm like, and that's what started this whole war that you kind of see trickle out throughout the whole series. Like, the serpents ain't got shit on the heathens, but still. I think you might see more of it in Jeremy's book since he's the leader and has to deal with things. But like I
Yeah.
said, I skipped that book because I never liked Cecilia on the page. And Jeremy was fine, but even when you sort of kind of see them in Creighton's book and then you sort of kind of see them in Landon's book a little bit, and the only reason why is because of Mia, I'm like, I just don't really care. They don't even act like a couple on the page on the other book. So I'm like, no. So.
Fair enough.
Are we ready to rate?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Darkness.
2.
I think we have to do a 3 because of the initiation scene. Don't we?
Do we?
I mean, they're legitimately walking through people with bats and arrows and their fists and, like, just beating the fuck out of people. Like, 100 people.
Yeah. True.
I mean, it's just the one scene. Maybe 2.
Well, I mean, you have that scene. You have
Suicidal.
Devlin beating the shit out of Glenn.
Oh, he does beat the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was also bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
Which was also, like, I hated this book. I did decide. Maybe I did just decide. I don't hate it as much as I hate the ritual. So the ritual gets to keep its spot.
Really?
Yeah, I
think we need to reread the ritual.
Maybe. I felt like another reason why I could not get into God of Malice is because 55% nothing fucking new happened.
Yeah.
It was literally just fucking rinse and repeat. Okay, I'm gonna stalk her. Okay, I'm gonna hold her. Oh, I'm gonna do something against something that she says she doesn't want to do. Okay, I'm not gonna go that far. Okay, it's just rinse and repeat for 60 fucking percent of the book.
Yes, I think that's why I like Nico's book is because it's not like that. I mean, it's sort of like that, but not as much.
Yeah. See, I can't. If you're gonna write a book with multiple different scenes. You don't get to use the same scene and then just recreate the elements and call it a book. Sorry, I'm getting heated. We're gonna slow down.
Hey, I'm here for it. So darkness a 2 for violence.
I mean, I would be okay with a 3. I think. I mean, you like you said, you had the multi.
But I think it's just the 2 scenes that are
murder.
violent, right? That scene and then him beating her. There's no other violence.
No, I don't think so.
So I'm okay with the 2.
Okay.
I mean, unless you call him being a psychopath dark, but like, I don't.
I mean, I do think part of our ranking does include their dynamic, and he is psychopath, sociopath, whatever. And they do bring up the fact that he like wants to be a surgeon so he can look inside of people multiple times. So
Maybe a 3.
maybe a 3.
Okay, I'm okay with 3. I just don't want to give it more credit than it's due. Which that's
No, I don't disagree with that, because I mean it's not a heavily dark book, but you know, there's dark elements for sure.
yeah. Okay, so 3
I
for
would definitely
darkness.
consider it still being a dark romance.
Okay. Spicy.
I don't know. You can rate it. I don't give a shit. I skipped their scenes. I was so over it.
I skip a lot of those scenes too. I normally rely on you for this.
That's how stupid. Like, it was just stupid.
Okay, hold on. Let me look at our ranking. Let's see. For spice. Okay, we have to at least give it 3 peppers.
Sure.
Because
I mean, it is a spicy book. Like, it's not, it has plenty of smut. It's just not smut I'm into. Could not have cared less.
I think a 3, 2, 3. I don't know.
Split the difference and call it a 2.5.
We did 3 with darkness. We'll do 3 with spicy.
Okay.
Okay, content. Our new category. We're just sticking with 3s.
I was gonna say like a 3-ish.
Because this is my thought. If you take them out, I loved everything else but them.
Yeah, like I really liked the parents' perspective. I liked, you know, a couple of side characters better than I liked the stupid fucking main couple. I liked the setting, the world, how everything was like interconnected. So yeah, I would say content's a solid 3.
Okay. Overall.
Whatever I rated the ritual, it's the same. I wonder if there will ever be an episode I don't mention how much. We're gonna have to rename the podcast Jen Hates the Ritual, period.
That's funny.
I mean, it's a 1 for me. I mean, it would have been a DNF if it weren't for you.
Okay.
You could maybe convince me to move it to a 2. If I had read it from the beginning, I think I maybe would have been able to rank it a 2 or maybe even a 3. But the audio, and I think, and that's could even be like a separate episode, I feel like, is like how audiobooks can make or break a book. So 2, 1, DNF. What's yours?
I'm trying to decide between a 2 and a 3. 2 because it was there was nothing special about it, but I feel like I need to give it a 3 because it introduces Landon and Mia, and I really like their books better.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So I'm going to give it a 2. And then in my review, only, I mean, you don't even have to. Do you have to read this book before you read Landon's?
I don't know.
No, you don't. If anything, I would have you read book 2 before you read book 4. This is the reading order for this series. 2, 4, 5. Done. It's a trilogy. Done. The first book is a novella. We don't really care about novellas and short stories. Book 3 is a novella. We don't really care about short stories and novellas. And book 6 is, I don't know yet. I'm indecisive on whether or not I'm going to read it. So that hasn't been released yet. That's just something she's been talking about doing. It may or may not happen.
Oh, okay.
No, I totally made that up. It's out. I was just saying for my version.
Oh, okay.
In my world, book 6 doesn't exist yet. Okay. So I don't have to decide now if I want to read it.
Okay.
So yeah, the Legacy of Gods trilogy. That's what we're calling it now.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm. I'm done.
All right.
I'm good. I'm tagging
Are
you
we
in.
good?
Yep, we're good.
All right. Okay, friends. Have you read the Legacy series by Rina? We would love your opinion. What books were your favorite? Do you agree with our assessment that book 1 probably isn't the best in the series? Let us know. Tag us on Instagram or check us out on TikTok at Bones of the Story, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us on the journey into the shadows of love, where dark romance stories come to light.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Bones of the Story as much as we did. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Your feedback means the world to us.
And to stay updated on all things dark romance, follow us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
We'd also love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, ideas, or even your own dark romance stories with us. Drop us a line at bonesofthestory@gmail.com.
Remember, our next tantalizing episode is just around the corner, so keep your hearts open and your senses sharp.
Until then, embrace the darkness and let the stories continue to stir your deepest desires.
This is Misty
and Jen,
signing off
from Bones of the Story.